Hello there everyone, my name is Crazy Caleb and welcome to A Buttoning Mazes. This is a continuation of our Vanilla Swirl series that we've been going through, and this is probably one of the trickier ones that is part of this series. So this is a combination of the button and maze. That's what we're going to be working with here. And what we have here, and the way that we can tell that this is definitely A Buttoning Mazes, is each of the buttons here, as we can see, have 4 different mazes present on each of the buttons respectively. Now, what's going to happen is we're going to have a white dot, which is going to represent our current position on each of these. We're going to have a red dot, which represents our goal position. And we're going to have these little X's as sort of a marker to determine which of the mazes we're in. Now, an important thing is that the walls of the maze can be rotated or flipped into any orientation, reorienting the positions of the markers accordingly. Now, I am using the interactive for this manual, so if you want to find that on the repo, you can go to More, and you can select the interactive here. So then we can go back into A Buttoning Mazes, and you can see that that's exactly what we're looking at here. So our goal here is we're going to be trying to reach all 4 of these goal points. And what we need to do is we need to have them in the red at the exact same time. Well, not the exact same time, at the same time. They all need to be effectively in the red square. Everyone appears at the same time. Get all 4 goal pieces into the goal positions at the same time to solve the module. That's what we're going to be doing here. And it is a little bit tricky to navigate through this, but do not worry. There is a little bit of a simpler way to do this, and there's a simple way of actually solving this. So let's take a look and let's see exactly what we can do here. So for starters, what we need to do is we need to figure out each of the mazes in our that each of our buttons are representing. In this case, we can look down here and we can see the markers. We have the ability to rotate it clockwise and counterclockwise and flip it as you can see here, like that. And the 0 is simply a reset, effectively. So let's take a look, and I'm going to write this down as north, east, south, and west. Or we can simply do news order, whichever way you prefer, just like that. So what we need to do is we need to, and the reason why I'm doing northeast, west, and south is because this table will use the N, E, S, and W for each of those directions. You'll see why we get to that in a moment. So what's going to happen here is we're going to be finding out where each of our mazes are and how the walls work effectively. Next, in order to move in the maze, we're going to hold the button in the desired movement direction. So if we want to move up, we hold up. If we want to move left, we want to move left. Of course, hold left. But what we do is, in order to release the button, what's going to happen here is there's going to be a color that's going to be displayed over in these little arrow sections down in the middle here. And when we release it on a specific timer digit, it's going to move 2 mazes in that same direction. This is what makes this model a little bit tricky. And as you can see here, each column, each row in each column has one of each combination effectively. So we have red, blue, yellow, magenta, cyan, white, and there's the possibility of being north and east, north and south, south and east, south and west, east and west, and north and west. Now, if you look here, timer digit has a little asterisk by it, and as you can see here, it's 0 through 5, so it's not 0 through 9. What exactly does this mean? So what's going to use is it's going to be the last second digit of the bomb timer is what it's referring to, is when we would release it. So if we wanted to move north and east up, for example, and it was red, we'd simply use this, and we have to release it on 0. Now, what's going to happen is it would use the last second digit. So if in this case, if it was 5900, for example, it would simply be using the last second digit, which in this case would be 0. But for example, if it were the last second digit were a 9, for example, what would happen then? Unless it does not belong to any column of the table, in that case, the next digit is used instead. So it's going to go to the 10th digit place, the 10-second digit place, which in this case would be 0 as well. So that's going to be how the module works. And the reason why it is 0 through 5 is because it's only going to be using the seconds. It never will reach the minutes. It will never reach the minutes at all. So very important to note that. Just be careful with the submission. I generally prefer to use the last digit. It's just much easier that way. You can wait. And that's going to be how it works. So let's find our mazes and their different positions. And what I'd like to do first is I'd like to start off by planning out the path that each of them can take in order to reach the end. And this is going to be important because this is going to make the mod very easy to do, especially when we get to the end where one of them reaches the destination, and there's going to be some cases where pairs are not allowed. So we'll see what we have to do then there in just a second. So let's take a look here. So first, let's take a look at the North Maze. Let's find that here. 1 second. Sorry about that. So what's going to happen here is we're going to be finding this maze, and it actually happens to be in the exact same orientation that it currently is in right now. As you can see, those X's match up in those positions. They are in the middle of each of these points, which in this case, as you can see here, it looks to be like it's adjacent to Bravo 3, which in this case does make sense. So therefore, this is the maze that we're looking at here. So we're going to be moving from here to here. So for north, we can write this out as an up, left, left, up, up, if we wanted to keep it as simple as possible. This will likely change, and we'll be using these directions at some point later, so I'm going to keep them marked for now. But for now, I've written down the north path being the easiest case possible. That's just for further reference. So now let's take a look at the east one. This one, and usually these patterns are pretty easy to find. It's more or less just making sure that we can make it work. Like this one right here. So that was perfect. So these, so the east maze is this one down here. We need to move from here over to here. This one's going to be a bit lengthier. So let's see what we can do. So we can maybe move up, right, down, right. And I'll space that right here. For the west maze, if we look over to the left here, it appears to be this one. Yep, and it's that orientation right there. So let's mark this, and we're going to be going from here to here. So let's go from in the west maze, we go right, up, right, up. And finally for the south maze, let's have a look here. It looks like it might be this one. Maybe inversing it. It's close, so it's maybe something else. Because there are a few of them that are very similar to each other, so let's keep that in mind. I'm not seeing it, though. I am just trying to find the orientation that would work for this. Because it looks like it's just up a little bit more. Excuse me for just a second. Terribly sorry about that. My dog is wanting to go outside, so I had to take care of her. It's not quite there. It might be this one. Yeah, it's this one, definitely. Yeah, here we go. Okay, and then for the south maze, we go from here to here. Okay, so then we would go left, up, left, up. Now, we have our paths determined here, and it's very important, and I would advise doing this beforehand before we get into the submission. It's just easier to manage, and it's easier to keep track of things so that you don't have to worry about going back and forth between all the mazes all the time. It's just much easier that way. So now, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to look for pairs. And in this case, we're going to want to look for pairs that are going the exact same direction that are going to be two different mazes, effectively. So in this case, there are two ups that we can use here, this and this. So we can hold the up button, and what we're going to do is we're going to want to release. It when the timer's digit and the color correspond to moving up with the north and east. So let's do that. So let's hold up, and we're given white. Now, white here for north and east would correspond to 1. So we're going to want to release it when the last digit is a 1. And just like that, as you saw, both of the white spots moved in the north and east spots. And now I'm going to remove these directions. And now what we can do here is if we look at the leftmost here, we've got 2 rights and 2 lefts. So this will be very useful. So let's take a look at these 2 rights, because this is actually going to be really nice because we can get 3 pairs right off the bat here. that is quite nice. So let's do this. So let's do right for east and west. Red, east and west is going to be a 4. So we're going to release when the last digit is a 4. Or we can release it now. Because if we take a look, 10947 is when I released it. 7 is not present as one of the timer digits. And therefore, it uses 4 as our option there. And that happened to work for east and west. So therefore, we can use that one right there. So now let's go right again for both the east and west once again. So let's do that. Yellow, east and west is a 3. So we'll wait for that to come back around. 4, 3. Okay. Then let's do up with east and west. Up, east and west, and white is 2. Perfect. Okay, so now we've run out of pairs with these two for now, but we can maybe do the north and south, left, and get us some more pairs. So let's go left with north and south. So red, north and south is a 1. Let's do that. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Bam and bam. So then let's go up, because now we've gotten a new pair for west and south. And see, this is the nice thing about this mod, is that you can definitely start lining things up, and this will be very easy for you. But there's going to become a bit of an issue later on, as you can see here, that some of these moves, like for example south, have a bit longer to go, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So in the meantime though, let's go up with west and south. So red, west, and south is a 3. We just missed it. At least on 3. Perfect. So bam and bam. We can now do right with east and west. So blue, east and west. East and west will be 5. It's going around here. 5. Bingo. Okay. Then we have ups here. We have got up for west and south. So up, west, and south. White, up, west, and south is a 5. Just missed it. 6 and 5. Okay. Then, as you can see, west has indeed reached its end point. So therefore, the current position is over the target position right now. And that's fine. So, it's not, and there's a reason why it's not the exact same time, because this is the fact that we can't, it's just impossible to move all 4 mazes at once. We effectively just need to have it where each of the final positions, like all of them are currently at one specific state on all 4 of the goal pieces. So, in the meantime though, let's continue. So let's move left for north and south. So left for north and south is a cyan. Left, north, and south is a 5. Just missed it once again. God dang it. Excuse me. So left, north, and south, 5. Bada bing, bada boom. And now, here's where we run into a bit of an issue here. There are no current pairs at this moment. Up, down, and left are the next directions for each of these here. And this is where we used the west maze again. So ideally, at this point, when you run out of pairs, now this is of course possible to happen at any given point, but ideally, when you have something that is in its final position, it can be used again to help the other mazes get to the exact positions that they need to go. So if we take a look at the west maze, which in this case is this one right here, we can move up and down safely and freely without any problems whatsoever. We can maybe do, we need to do something that'll help us with left, we need to help us something with down, and we need to do something that'll help us with up. Now, if we happen to get, for example, a down and left, that might improve our situation. And we want to think ahead of how we can exactly improve our situation. So if we go down, that'll handle this pair. If we go left, that'll handle this pair. The ups can handle themselves. The right, we can go back to the right, and that can be another pair right there. And then we simply need to go back up, and just like that, we happen to have an exact pair of up left, so therefore, everything will be at the exact same point with this. So, The two downs will go away. The two rights, the two lefts will go away. The two ups will go away, as you can see as the pairs that I'm making. Two rights and two ups. And just like that, everything will be at the exact same point. So let's do this. So let's go down with east and west. Blue. East and west is a 5. I just missed it again. 6, 5. Okay. Let's go left with west and south. Magenta, west and south is a 2. There we go. Let's go right with east and west. Magenta, right, east, and west. 1. Just missed it. Damn you. Release it on 1. Good. And now we have all these ups here, so we're going to be doing up twice. So let's do up with north and south. Magenta, north and south is a 4. Okay, we can release it at the 9 here. There we go. North and south are taken care of. So therefore, north and west is what we need to do. So let's go up with north and west is red. So north and west is a 5. And just like that is a solved module. There we go. And that's really all there is to it. All there is to it is kind of just planning ahead. In this case, I actually happened to get lucky that all of the pairs left would be satisfied with down, left, right, up. So there is that. But that's kind of the goal of how this module works. And it's a bit tricky, and it's a bit long, as you can see. It is a very lengthy module. Do not get that wrong. But overall, it's not too hard to understand. It's just making sure that you have effectively a good plan in mind, because that'll make your life a whole heck of a lot easier. So let's go for one more example. I will cruise through this a little bit faster just because of the fact that, like I said, this module does take a long time to do, and I'll try and make it quick. But effectively, what we want to use is that sense of planning ahead, and of course using the other mazes to our advantage if we happen to reach the end destination before the others. So let's have a look here. So this one's like a staircase almost in a way. So where is that one at? Right here. Okay, perfect. So bam, we're going to bam. The simplest path would be down, down, left, down, down. Okay. Not much going to be going on there. Next up, east. We've seen this one before. It's just a question of where is that. I think it's this one. I say think in heavy quotes, of course. Not quite. Let's maybe try this one. Yeah, here we go. Bam. And bam. So we're, in this case, from the east maze, we're going to go up, up, left, down, down. Okay. From the west maze, I believe that they're all designed to be different. So this is the other one here that we have to work with, which in this case does line up. Perfect. And we have this one over here. So in this case, we would go. And I'm thinking ahead, and I'm trying to compensate the downs that we have from north. So we might go down, down, left, up, left, left, left. That might be worthwhile. And for south, let's see what the south maze is. All very bunched up together. This one. So let's get it into the right position. Like so. And our end destination is over here. So in this case, we can do a right, right, down, right, up, up, left. Okay. Now the rights are going to be weird to work with. So this might be a case of where we simply just leave it for the end. And I could definitely see that being a very legitimate strategy. So let's think about this. So first off, for starters, we can do north and west. We can do quite a few of these together because they actually happen to be the exact same thing. So let's do north and west for down. Red, north and west is a 5, 7, 6, 5. Let's go down again. Red, okay, 5 again. Okay, and then let's go left with north and west again. Left, north, and west is just 5. Cool. Fantastic. So let's get rid of these 3 directions. Whoops. And let's get rid of these 3 directions. Okay. We can do a pair of ups. Okay, so let's do a pair of ups. So let's go up here with east and west. Cyan. East and west is a 0. Let's wait for 0 to come around. Okay. Bam and bam. And now we're at a crossroads. We're at a bit of a position where we cannot do anything. So my proposal is that we know for a fact we did up just a second ago with west. What if we simply bring the down in and we simply reverse it and then go back up effectively? That could be a strategy. So let's do that. So let's go down with north and west. Yellow. North and west is a 1. Okay. And then we can go up with east and west. Yellow, east and west is a 3. And there we go. And then what we can then do is we can now go left with east and west. So cyan, east and west is a 0. Okay. Bam and bam. We can now go down with north and east. Yellow, north and east is a 4. Just missed it. Okay. Bam and bam. And now we're at a crossroads again. So now we are... But the nice thing is that we have north done. North is done and it is at its point. So now what we can do is we can now utilize it to our advantage and see if we can move in any direction given to us here. So let's figure out what exactly we can do. So we can do a left and right case. So in this case, this will help with the west and this will help with the right, with the south effectively. So the west and the south, let's start with left because we cannot go right at this current position because there's a wall to the right of it. So let's go left. So let's start with left. In this case, so let's actually do this. So let's actually plan this out. So let's do left, right, then left, right again, because that'll take care of both of these left and both of these rights. Then the downs can go with the east and the south. And then hopefully by this point, with east and west, we can have something to deal with this right. We should be fine, I hope. So let's do this at one step at a time. So let's go left for north and west. So cyan, north and west is a 2. Let's wait for it. Okay. Bam and bam. Let's go right, north, and south. Cyan, north, and south is a 5. I just missed it. Story of my life. Bam. Get out of here, get out of here. Let's go left, north, and west. White is a 4, 5, 4. And then let's go right, north, and south. Yellow, north and south is a 2. Bam. And then down, east and south is blue. South and east is 4. Done. Okay. So now 3 of these mazes are in their exact positions, and that's good. So now let's take a look at our east and west mazes and see if we can actually figure out anything here. So, so east can go. So the east maze. Let's see what this one can do. Actually, I saw with the west maze, we can go to the right here. So bam, it can go right and left, and I can take care of those 2. Perhaps there's a way we can go. And this is the tricky part. So we have right and left covered. But we need to figure out how to deal with these 2 ups. Now our north maze can give us 2 ups. But we're going to need to do a little bit of planning ahead in this case. I think for now, let's do west. Let's do the right. And then we'll handle that later. So let's do right with west and south. That's cyan, west and south. South and west is 4. Okay. Bam and bam. And now let's take a look at our east maze. So let's look at, where is it? This one. We can go up here. We actually can go up here. That is good to know. Okay, so we can go up with the east maze. So let's actually do that. Yeah, because we're over here. We can go up, and we can go down whenever we want to. So let's do that. And this is the part where things get a little bit tricky. We're going to want to do a case. We're not going to want to do both ups with this specific maze, because we're going to want to make sure that we have something to make sure we can get down back with. So we're going to want to do two different mazes. So we're going to want to use one up here, and we're going to have to go down at some point. And let's see if we can go anywhere else. The north maze can do this again. So we're back at our current position in the north maze here. This can also go up and down. So it's important that we do not use the same maze twice. Otherwise, that's going to make life a little bit trickier for us in order to get back. So that's going to be important. So let's do this. So let's do a let's do east and south. Let's go up. East and south going up. Yellow, east and south. South and east is a 5. Bingo. East and south. Let's do north and south. Blue. North and south is a 0. Bingo. I was lucky there. And then now, as you can see, we just need to do one down and one left with each of these. So down with north and east. Red. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Down with north and east is a 0. I can tell. Okay, good. And then left with west and south, a magenta is a 2. And just like that is a solved module. And as you can see, that took that still took a while to do. And it is a very lengthy module. Do not get me wrong on that. As always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to stay crazy, stay cool, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.